second straight game. It was expected that Long, who had missed 3 games with a high ankle injury, would be back in the starting lineup. He didn't start at Fairfield. He won't start again today. So Brandwick to attempt the tip, and he goes right through Isaiah Williams, and Iona controls. Williams has his right knee taped up all the way up to his thigh, it would appear, from his calf to his thigh. So let's watch that. A.J. English is 3rd in the NCAA in scoring, averaging 22 points a game. He controls for the Gales. English into the lane, has the ball stripped away for Marquise Wright. Running with Himes on his left. Wright will take on 2 and lays it in with the left hand. Wright a steal and a score, but English was left all alone in the backcourt, and he answers right away with 2 quick points at the rim himself. And that's transition defense that Coach Patsos was talking in his pregame. They can't allow those easy baskets. You see how quickly Iona got the ball out. Wright had 6 steals against Fairfield. He leads the conference with almost 2.5 steals a game. He looks to feed the post with Oganyemi, who was up against 2 defenders and draws the foul. So Oganyemi headed to the free throw line. Earl Walton, Kevin Ferguson, and Ron Tibruski are officials today. All 3 veteran MAC officials. We've seen Ron here quite a bit and on the road down at Radford. So maybe he's become a lucky charm. We'll see. It was Williams who collected the foul. Oganyemi's first free throw on the way, and it's good. The sophomore out of Troy, just a 51% free throw shooter. As we've discussed before, his mechanics not something you put in a textbook. But I'm going to tell you, it changes every time. It's almost like watching Shaq. Every game, it's a different form of shot, and this one looks good. Let's hitch. And he makes them both. A 4-2 Siena lead. Slight pressure from the Saints. Iona breaks it down. And now with a right-handed dribble near the timeline, it's English being guarded by Wright. Siena in a man-to-man. Poole on defense now against English as the ball switches around to Hines, who knocks down a 3-pointer. 6'10", 225 pounds with a stroke. He shoots 44% from beyond the arc. That 3 gives Iona a 5-4 lead. Not afraid of long-distance travel, being from Alaska. Well said. Long will check into the next dead ball. Poole from the left corner, guarded by Hines. Poole is a little bit quicker, tries the baseline, kicks out to Brandwick. Left wing now Wright, improves his position. 10-foot jump shot, strong off the back of the iron, and a rebound for English. It's a 2-on-2, now a 3-on-2 for Iona. The kick out for Casimir. Elects not to pull from the outside. Iona will get charged for a backcourt violation as Casimir's pass for English gets by the preseason first-teamer. Long coming in for Brandwick. Coach Patsos giving an earful to Willem. I think either he wanted him to shoot the ball or wasn't happy with the pass. I'm not sure which. Brandwick 46% from the outside this year. Another big man who can shoot. He stands 6'8", the Voorburg, Netherlands native. Himes interior pass for Long, working the left block, pull out. And a shot from about 8 feet, no good. And a rebound to Iona. It's Lowry. Splits 2 Saints, takes on Oganyemi at the rim, leaves the shot short, and it goes off of Lowry's fingertip. Sees and tries to rein in the loose ball. Siena basketball down a point. See how active Lowry is with his hands down low when he misses a shot. Long with that reverse pivot Sigma move, tried to create space on Lowry for the 8 to 10 foot jumper, but just shot it way short. Right-handed dribble, and now we've got a foul away from the basketball. It's going to be an illegal screen set by Evan Himes. Official Earl Walton saying that Himes lifted his arms up on the screen. First team foul for Siena. Iona shreds the press, a 2-on-2. The kick out for Williams, who will try for 3, and it's pure. Isaiah Williams, a 42% three-point shooter, knocks down the triple. Iona now in front 8-4. See how quickly the tide changes for Iona when they aren't afraid to shoot that 3. Right with an interior pass for Oganyemi, a little right-handed hook shot, and he gets the roll. That's the difference in Javion's game this year. He finishes the ball, Kelly. Deep 3-point try from English. No good. In fact, he missed everything, but Williams pulled in the rebound. He goes up and scores. It's 10-6 Iona. Floors a team this season against 43% for Siena. So, Saints to inbound. You got to go the full length of the court against slight pressure from Iona. Siena taking his time. They've only got 3 seconds to cross the timeline, and they do. Brandwick with a pass for Oliver, who's come into the game for the first time, replacing Poole.
Iona falls back into a 2-3 zone, which is interesting.
Wright dribbling near the Iona bench to Oliver, who nearly threw it away looking for Brandwick. The ball somehow found the hands of Levon Long, who traveled on his way to the basket.
Not really sure what Levon was trying to accomplish there. 23 feet from the basket.
16:42 to play in the half. Iona in front of Siena 10-6. The Gales putting the ball in play against pressure. Now into the front court, lob for Lowry, who brings it down. Was not in position to go up with it right away. In fact, the only play he had was throwing it off of a Siena player to keep possession, and that's what he does. Iona ball out of bounds.
David Lowry, kind of a crazy pass. You know, I know he was in a tough position, but he could have easily just kicked it out and reset the offense.
English throws it into the backcourt for Anchorage, Alaska native Ryden Hines.
And see, Hines did a smart thing. He got into past half court so he didn't get caught.
Lowry goes against Oganyemi. Oganyemi wins the battle. Ball for Long as he's falling down. Desperately throws it away. The ball finds Wright, who is fouled by Hines.
Jimmy Patsos is fired up about the no calls prior to that. And still giving the official an earful. Now refocusing on his Saints.
Long will resume play right in front of us. And skips it over to Wright. Fresh shot clock for Siena. Saints down 4. Oliver controlling left wing. Now beyond the perimeter to the right side is Wright. Oliver rolls off the screen. Catch and shoot from the right corner. No good. Poole with the offensive rebound. Nearly lost it and then does. Has it stolen by Casimir. Ahead to English. No look pass back to Casimir. Wright swats it away, but a little too much body. Marquise Wright will pick up the foul. Iona will be shooting free throws after this break in the action.
I think outside of transition defense, Siena's done admirable work.
Casimir at the free throw line. He makes the first of 2. He was fouled by Wright heading into the first media timeout of the game.
I think it's really the turnovers that Siena's given up 3 so far that have resulted in easy baskets the other way.
Casimir's an 84% free throw shooter. Rob Poole, by the way, is now up to 86% this season, which is best in the conference. Oliver galloping across the timeline. Cross-court pass for Poole. Underneath, look for Levon Long. A rugged approach to the rack as he goes up against Lowry and wins for 2 points.
I think what's surprising is how deep Levon got that ball in the post.
Casimir controlling from 25 feet away. Hands it for Amayo into the game for the first time. Casimir will pull the trigger from deep. The ball rattles out. Skying for the rebound was Oganyemi. Hands it off to Wright. Quickly into the front court. Gets inside the arc. Pulls it back out for Oganyemi, who was trailing the play. And now Poole rolls off a screen. Looks for 3. Misses. Poole gets his own rebound. Bounce pass underneath to Oganyemi. Up strong off glass and good.
Credit Rob Poole for shagging down that offensive carom.
English working against Wright. Siena in a man-to-man. Oganyemi over to help, around to Casimir into the corner. 3-point look from Williams, not there, and a rebound to Siena. Saints matching Iona in tempo. Poole pulling for 3, trying again. This time also not there. Another offensive board for Siena. It's Long, who lost it off of his own knee and out of bounds. So the Saints wasting that offensive board.
2 very rare offensive rebounds against this team. Again, my comment, Long getting deep. There's no way Lowry should allow him to post up that deep against him. I don't know if Lowry's trying to stay out of foul trouble, but that's, you know, a very easy basket for the left-hander Long to, you know, put in the hoop.
So in the pregame, Andy, we talked about Siena getting away from the 3-point shot, and they've had success by not trying to rely on the 3-point shot, averaging just 8 attempts per game the last 2 games. Already 3 attempts in the early going. This afternoon, they've missed them all 0 for 3.
Not a good sign, but they've got to bust out of that slump at some point, Kelly.
Casimir left-handed dribble. Chest pass to Amayo, the junior guard out of Newark. Creeping towards the free throw line, going against Poole. Poole knocks it away. Amayo gets it back. 3 seconds to shoot. Now he lost his dribble. Gets down to English, who has to try from 26 feet. No good, but an offensive rebound for Lowry to a cutting Amayo. Awkward pass out to English. Hand checked by Wright. And Wright does commit the foul. That looked like a pretty obvious one, and probably not the smartest thing to do when he already had a foul.
Now, 2 hands on a player in college basketball today under any circumstance is going to be the easiest call to make in the arena.
So, Wright already 2 fouls, and that's not good considering he averages 36 minutes a game.
Oliver cannot handle the point. You're going to see Himes handle that point position.
Casimir bottled up after Iona inbounded back near midcourt. Amayo now out to English, who will try for 3, and he knew it all along. Bottom of the net. English was backing up as soon as he let it go. Iona extends its lead back to 5, 15-10.
English has always had that odd release where his right elbow really hangs outside. It's not square to his wrist.
Long with a confident move to the glass, lays it off the square and scores. So Levon Long onto the score sheet. Siena a steal. Himes ahead to Poole, and he threw it away. Himes a little rambunctious after Siena had the takeaway. Tried to force the issue back to Mayo. Now underneath to Lowry. His shot falls off the rim, but there is a whistle, so Lowry will be shooting free throws.
Just a little too anxious by Evan Himes. He needs to be patient with that pass and put it on the left side of Poole, who's striding toward the basket. He put that pass, that lead pass, between the defender and Poole, and even though the defender was behind Poole, he had an opportunity to shag it down.
Lowry, just a 60% free throw shooter, made the first. And the second on its way. No good. Rob Poole with the rebound. Outlets to Wright. Forces the issue into the corner. Himes tries for 3. Off the back of the iron. Siena in position for the offensive rebound. It's Poole who is mugged.
You know, Keldon Amio really was going after the ball. He just went straight up. Poole went into him, but got a little handsy on Poole when he tried to get that rebound. Wonders why he's being penalized for his effort. Sometimes effort doesn't equal result if you're in a bad position.
Oganyemi to inbound. He's got Wright, Long, Poole, and Oliver to choose from. Oliver comes off a double screen. He's still guarded. Time running down on the 5-second clock. It's into Poole, but barely. English got a piece of it. And now Siena will reset with a fresh shot clock. 13-10 to play in the half. The Saints trail by 4. Poole holding the ball high above his head. Top of the key for Long. Now left wing for Oliver. Wright flashing between the circles. Takes the pass from Oliver with 17 to shoot. Bounce pass to the right elbow for Long. One dribble. Gets within 5 feet. Goes up strong and scores.
Levon and Javion having their way inside. Surprising to me.
Levon and Javion with 6 points apiece. They account for 12 of Siena's 14 points. Williams holding 27 feet from the basket. A handoff for Amayo. He's picked up by Oliver. Siena in the man-to-man. Poole against Williams, and now here's English, the top scorer in the conference. English gets around Wright. Long there to help defensively, and Long went in at an angle, and he's called for the foul.
Kelly, I like that foul, and I'm going to tell you why. It sends English a message. You're not going to come down in the paint and just have your way with us. And the fact that Levon was able to get his hand on the ball, even though he got him on the body, he still made sure that he didn't convert that into a possible three-point play.
English, an 82% free throw shooter. First shot on its way, it's good.
Sometimes being physical against teams that are athletic is a way that you can send a message, but then also whittle them down. You know, their athleticism, you're not going to match that, but what you can match is effort, and you can match strength. And I think Siena, if they can show Iona that they're just not going to open up like Swiss cheese on defense.
His second free throw rims out. Oganyemi at the rim to pull it down. Right double team. He's all alone in the backcourt. Does find Oganyemi, who came back to help, but now Long, a cutting Poole, runs the baseline. Poole is in position, but he couldn't field the pass cleanly, and now it's Iona that comes away with it, and they want to run. Amayo, beautiful no-look pass to English, reverse layup and scores. English has 8.
That was truly a beautiful assist, no-look pass at high speed.
Iona again inflates its lead to 5, 19-14, 11:50 to play in the half. Oliver now near side for Poole. Still has his dribble if he wants. Instead to Oliver at the free throw line. It's Long, who is swarmed by 3 Gales. Long maintains possession, kicks it out to Poole. His three-pointer was short all the way. Rebound by Long, who's fouled. It's Adebayo with the look of surprise, and that'll take us to immediate timeout. With 11, A.J. English with 8 of the Gales' 19 points. English, who's third in the country in scoring, averages almost 23 a game.
You know, those entry passes are just not good. The one that was to Poole earlier that resulted in turnovers, a descending pass. It's very difficult to catch. And that was a rolling pass, I guess you'd call it.
So Siena dispossessed, and now it's Iona on the attack, up by 5. Casimir, the freshman out of Stanford, pulls it out near the timeline, now uses Dublin.
Siena mixing up defenses man-to-man.
Casimir, pull-up jumper from the left elbow, and the 15-footer is good.
So Casimir creates space by almost pushing off of Poole there offensively.
Iona by 7, the Gales' largest lead of the game. Oliver, left wing, finds Long at the free throw line. Fade away, way off. And a rebound to Hines. Williams thinking about a 3, decides to pull the trigger, not there. One-handed offensive rebound for Jelani Dublin, who puts it back in and scores.
Dublin in the perfect position right underneath the hoop. But Siena player on his back.
Dublin averages just 2 points in 6 minutes off the bench. He gives Iona a 9-point lead. Long on his way to the basket is fouled along the way. The foul is on the floor. It's going to be the 5th against Iona.
Levon seems intent on squaring up to the basket and taking it to the hoop, which we know he's capable of doing.
For now, he'll take it to the bench, replaced by Jimmy Page, the freshman, seeing his first minutes of the game. Page averaging about 7 minutes a game. Poole puts the ball into play for Oganyemi. 24 feet from the basket, needs help. It's in the form of Marquise Wright. Wright nonchalantly dribbling to his right. Passes for Oganyemi, kicked out to Poole, open for 3, and that one he nestles in. Poole missed his first 3 shots from the outside tonight, but he's got that one. Siena within 6.
Squared up.
Casimir squares up from deep, not there. Rebound to Page. Outlets to Wright. Who wants to run? Wright lost the handle, his first turnover of the game. English comes away with it, a 2-on-2. English gets around. Poole lays it in and scores, and Poole wondering exactly what he did to have gotten the attention of the referee. Either way, English a chance at a 3-point play.
Rob's got to hammer him like Levon did.
Right.
You know, you just can't give that layup and the and one. You have to eliminate the opportunity for the layup at all costs.
Well, English with a chance to get his 11th point of the game. Less than 11 minutes into the game, but he's got it. Iona back up by 9. So right away, English neutralizing that 3-pointer from Poole. Right across midcourt for Poole, left wing. High screen set by Oganyemi. Poole picks up his dribble. Finds Maurice White into the game for the first time, who hands it off to Jimmy Page, and back up top for Marquise Wright, who will reset with 15 on the shot clock. Low left-handed dribble. Casimir keeping him in check. Now it's White. White aggressively to the rim. Up and in. Maurice White, 2 points. White shooting just 13% from the field this year. An important bucket there for the sophomore. The other end, a miss by Hines and a rebound to Poole.
Good to see Maurice get off the schneid early.
Poole looking to beat Casimir off the dribble, hanging in the air, gets off a tough shot. Hines with the rebound for Iona, and a 2-on-2 break for the Gales. It's English taking on both Wright and White, and he loses the 1-on-2. White with the steal, ahead to Wright. 2 giant steps into the lane, up the glass, and he scores.
Wow. We knew it was going to be up and down, but I'll tell you something. English is not, he has never seen a fast break that he's afraid of. Fumbled the ball there, resulting in a turnover. And Marquise Wright taking some awkward steps to get the and one.
Steps that you wouldn't think a guy that stands just 5'11" could make. Right, one free throw, a chance of the three-point play can get Siena within 4, and he's got it.
And Siena now in a one-on-one situation the rest of this half, barring any further Iona fouls.
Both teams with 6 team fouls. So Iona, they have led by as many as 9. It's a 4-point lead, 8.5 to play in the half. It's English. Siena back into the zone. Entry pass for Lowry. Has it at the left elbow, takes 2 steps into the paint, goes up against Brandwick, 2 points and the foul.
And that's where Willem's athleticism just is not going to match up with Lowry. Lowry exposing Willem's defensive ability against Lowry, who's just that much more of an athlete than Willem. Willem should take no shame in hearing that. It's just a fact. David Lowry is a beast and a very difficult guard for anyone. Freshman's got a tall task here over the next few minutes.
And Lowry, a senior who was on the second team all-conference a year ago, preseason player of the year this year, makes the free throw. It's 29-22 Iona with 8:10 to play in the half. Right, controlling at the perimeter. Bounce pass to the free throw line for Jimmy Page. Made a mistake of trying to put it on the floor and has it taken away.
He's got to dribble that lower and go to the basket with it, put it in front of him.
English for Williams. Nice interior pass to Dublin, who goes up and has the ball swatted. It's Wright finding a different gear as he gets inside the arc the other way, but then lost it, tipped towards the sideline. Some confusion about whose ball it is. And I believe it will be Siena basketball.
Embarrassed, Kelly.
Bradley.
Yes.
Bradley.
What am I saying? Southern Illinois and Illinois State. Got my head somewhere where the sun doesn't shine. I apologize to the Bisping family. Daughter Brooke went to Bradley.
Wright controlling for the Saints, looking to cut into the 7-point deficit. Whistle away from the basketball. And it's going to be on Iona. That's Cedric Casimir, the freshman, for a hold. And it's going to be free throws for the Saints, 1-1.
Shadrach Casimir not having the game that I thought he would so far. I'm hoping he doesn't heat up because he's not gotten off to a great start on offense or defense today.
Ryan Oliver misses the free throw. An offensive rebound for Long for Oliver, who then misses the jump shot from about 12 feet. Oliver is still looking for his first point over the last 3 games. Had 2 opportunities there.
Ryan's struggling clearly.
Iona's going to slow it down, which is a bit unusual. English pointing to his chin, running some sort of play. That play is to shoot it from 24 feet, and he makes it.
He shot that from the St. Bernard's nose, Kelly. That was deep.
Whatever was developing in the play before, we didn't enjoy.
I think it's the nose play. He's going to shoot it from the St. Bernard's nose. Get ready and rebound. Great play.
We'll have to ask Tim Cluse about the inspiration for that play. Long for Wright to Oliver, exploding down the baseline, misses again. So Oliver has missed 3 straight shots. Siena down by 10, which is the Saints' largest deficit. English now full of confidence into the paint, has it swatted, gets the ball back, kicks out to Williams, who gets a 3-point shot to go. It's a 13-point Iona lead.
And the pedal is on the throttle, and it is to the metal.
6:10 to play in the half, and the Siena faithful here at the Times Union Center trying to motivate the Saints for an answer, and it comes in the form of Rob Poole, 3 points.
Tim Cluse asking his assistants, what are they doing? The best shooter on the Saints, and you let him open off a double screen. Why?
Poole up to 6 points. Poole, Oganyemi, and Long each have 6 for the Saints. To the inside for Iona, it's Lowry, and he's fouled.
See Lowry patient. You know, one thing the 3 years that we've watched Lowry play, he has this ability with his footwork to be patient, but yet very, very aggressive on the offensive end. One of my favorite post players in MAC history right there.
He makes the first of 2 free throws at the line so far this afternoon. He is now 3 of 4.
You just don't see Lowry force offense. A lot of big guys, they force offense, they take crazy shots off balance.
Misses her second free throw, so the lead is 11 for the Gales. Right double team, begging for some help, nearly threw it away. A lucky deflection, so it's still Siena basketball. Himes now running a 3-on-2, takes it himself, got into the lane, little teardrop shot, no good. Rebound to Iona, hustling the other way, and that's a walk, I would think, for English. Certainly everybody in the building thought so, but not the refs.
Jimmy's going to earn a tee here.
I saw it the way the fans did. What about you, Andy?
It was a travel.
Okay.
Once he lifted the other foot, that becomes a travel. That's his pivot foot.
So Iona with free possession, if you will. 3-point try from English. Woefully short. Ball out of bounds, Siena basketball.
I think Walton missed it as the lead official. What happens is when you lift the pivot foot, it's not a travel till it hits the ground. And there you go.
There's the technical. Coach Patsos is teed up, and he's actually a little bit surprised about it, though you're not, Andy.
No, I'm not. I think he's surprised because of what resulted in the technical. I think Jimmy's trying to have a conversation. Whether he missed the call or not, you're never going to win that argument.
He's now trying to get the attention. I see him saying, Ronnie, come here. Ronnie Taberski, one of the other refs, but Ronnie's ignoring Jimmy. English will shoot the text and actually misses the first. English, a 82% free throw shooter.
Rare miss. Yeah, they're not going to listen to him. They're not going to listen to him.
They missed them both. So the technical could have cost Siena 2 points and a possession. So just back, Siena comes away from that tee unscathed. No harm done.
Maybe there's something in that, Kelly.
Right, pass to the interior for Levon Long, who missed. Brandwick tips it in, but it's going to be goaltending. Long and Brandwick both thought the ball was out of the cylinder. It was very close.
No, it was on there. It was on there. It was a good call. Can't pile on.
Fair enough. And truth is, Long should have made the layup.
Correct. He was wide open. Yeah. Shame on Levon, but, you know, the ball's got to be off the cylinder.
Into the game for Tim Cluse's Ibn Muhammad finds Lowry triple teamed as the Saints defense collapses, so Lowry forced to kick it out. Muhammad for Mayo, streaking across the baseline. Pretty pass for Williams, who misses a wide open layup of his own. Rebound to Brandwick, the outlet to right, on the run. Hands it off for Long in traffic, and it's a blocking foul. Long will shoot free throws.
Just got mowed over by Long. I would not want to be number 3 in Burgundy because Muhammad just got his head caved in.
That's 6'7", 222 pounds of pure muscle coming at you.
Coming at 5 foot something, Muhammad. I don't know. whatever's in the stats is not correct. I can tell you that.
They call him 5'9". You think that's generous? Long makes the first.
I think with his hair longer like that, you might get 5'9". If he cut it short, no shot.
Now we're just 19 minutes off the bench. She goes back to the bench. Long's second free throw is good. So Long, who makes just 66% from the line, gets 2. Maurice White back into the game.
You see how Coach Kluse and the Iona staff have to deal with the good and the bad. It comes in bunches and it goes away in bunches, and now you see the doldrum that they're in right now offensively.
So perhaps a chance for Siena to make up some of the stagger before halftime. Still 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play in this half. The Saints trail 36-27. Amaya with possession. Gets Himes guessing the other way. Inside the arc. Kick out for Casimir. 3-point try, no good. Fell on the rebound. And it's going to be Amayo. The shooter, I believe, is Long.
Amayo cannot buy daylight from these officials today. They are just, everything he does, he's getting called for. I feel for him.
So it's the third foul on Amayo. He's the first player on either team to get to 3. Siena's only player with 2 is Wright, who is currently on the bench. That was the 9th team foul. So a 1-and-1 for Levon Long.
Tim Cluse pleading Amayo's case to Kevin Ferguson. Or, I'm sorry, Ron Tabuski.
Long makes the first, 3 of 3 from the line.
A good thing.
.404. Got the bounce off the front of the rim. Siena within 7.
I will clap for Levon.
Casimir, English. Fans wanted a foul on English, pushing off a Hines, doesn't get it. Instead, Casimir trying for 3, no good. The ball squirts out of bounds. Siena basketball. After this timeout brought to you by All-Star Wine and Spirits, Siena trails Iona 3:47 to play in the half. Iona in front of Siena 36-29. Siena's deficit at one point was as many as 13 points. It is Siena basketball. This is Maurice White, left-handed dribble, picks it up, needs Himes. He plays out between the circles. Himes running the point right now, right on the bench with 2 fouls. Long, back out to White. An aggressive move on the left block. Too aggressive. In fact, he lowers his shoulder and gets called for the offensive foul.
A classic Mo White move. He's got to pull up, and he needs to learn a slide shot where he actually stops and slides by the defender and banks it off the glass. I think that would go a long way for Maurice.
Instead, it's Iona basketball. Out of bounds under their own hoop. Siena fakes some full court pressure and then repeals both Oliver and Himes.
English makes me laugh. He's out there having fun and getting in Oliver's business before the play, and the official says, just knock it off.
Even off the ball, Oliver won't give English more than 2 millimeters of space to work with. Ball's on the left wing for Williams. 12 seconds to shoot. Hines from the left blocking, stood up by Long. Hines working on Long, gives it up to Lowry, has it swatted away by Long, out of bounds. Lowry touched it left, so that's Levon Long forcing the turnover.
And nice double team by Willem Brandwick and Levon Long. One thing I noticed defensively, you pointed out Oliver and English getting into it, not giving English any daylight. He is completely with his back to the basket, almost like a box-in-one type of defense, Kelly, where Oliver doesn't care where the ball is. He's just going to stay between English and the ball.
Still no Marquise Wright. So at times, working with Oliver in the backcourt for Siena. Long left wing. Willem Brandwick is the big for the Saints. Cross-court pass to Himes right in front of Kloos. Explosive move into the paint, goes up against Dublin. A wild shot from Himes, not there. Rebound to Iona. It's English for Lowry, blocked by Rob Poole. Lowry has it back, swatted by Levon Long. Ball out of bounds, off of Long. Iona basketball. How about that? David Lowry, preseason player of the year, rejected twice on the same possession. First it was Poole, then it was Long.
Well, I think that should have been alternating possession. If he's going to say he held the ball and stopped it without letting it go, it should have gone alternate possession to Siena.
Instead, Iona basketball out of bounds, 25 on the shot clock. Fans wanted a 5 seconds, but Iona got the ball in time.
English getting chippy with Oliver now.
Oliver guarding him tightly near the timeline. English now encroaching near the perimeter. Sweet pass inside for Lowry, who had separation on Brandwick and scores. And timeout, Jimmy Patsos. The Saints back down by 9 with 2:14 to play in the half.
Keep the Gales off of the scoring. They can't have a barrage here at the end of the half.
Siena down 9. Here's Oliver. Right-handed dribble, angling towards the Iona bench. Lobbing a pass in for Oguniemi. Stripped from behind. It was poked away by Dublin. Dublin running the floor, gets the pass. His shot's blocked away, but the foul was before the shot. It looks like it's Ryan Oliver who picks up his second foul, and Dublin's going to the free throw line. And the Saints are now in, Saints and Gales both in the double bonus. So 2 free throws for Dublin, a 67% free throw shooter. Misses the first.
Well, the Gales are now 7 for 13 from the line. This game would be a much different story if they shot better than just over 50%. Saints are 7 for 8 from the free throw line.
Dublin makes the second, got the bounce. He's a graduate student playing in his only season with Iona. Earned his bachelor's degree at Longwood University.
Longwood, same conference as Radford.
So it's a 10-point hole for Siena. Evan Himes coming in for Levon Long. 1:51 to play in the half. Jimmy Page will trigger the inbounds. Wright uncontested. So here's Wright. 25 seconds to shoot. Himes comes off the screen, collects 24 feet from the basket, gets into the paint. As he looks for Page, he's fouled. Not shooting, but like we said, both teams in the double bonus. So Evan Himes will get a couple of free throws.
It's a good way for Siena to put points up without time running off the clock.
Himes averages 12 points a game at home. He's yet to score in this one. 0 for 2 from the floor. His first free throw attempt of the game is good. Himes shoots 77% from the line. The senior out of Durham, North Carolina, makes them both. Saints with an 8.
Saints need 2 solid defensive stanzas here to close out this half.
English will take the ball up the floor, guarded by Himes. Himes getting into English, forced him to pick up his dribble, so English plays pitch and catch with Lowry to get it back, and Himes called for the foul. Coach Pantos can't believe it. Himes just playing sticky defense on English, but Jimmy's got to be careful. He already has one technical.
And Wright and English talking junk. Officials need to get in between this now. And that's what I'm saying. This, you know, growing up in Detroit, this is what I was used to seeing in pickup basketball on Saturday mornings at Oakland Community College and NCON. You know, guys like English like to stir the pot, get into guys' faces, and start talking dirt.
Evan Himes told one of the officials, you need to tell him that, and pointed at English. I think it had to do with jawing back and forth at each other. Well, the official that Himes was chatting with is now conferring with the fourth official over the scorer's table, who's now having a chat with Tim Kluse.
Yep, and Ron's validating, you know, that there was a mention between those players, probably asking for counsel, making sure that he warns Tim Kluse that says English needs to straighten himself out, and then they offset technical fouls here.
2 fouls for each, a personal and a technical for both players.
So both players pick up an additional foul that will offset, and then it looks like Himes and English have buried the hatchet as English misses the first free throw. They both gave each other a high five there.
And the love is good. Now here is where wisdom in coaching comes in. English getting lippy, has the attention of the officials. Coach Kluse getting him out of the game so that further evil doesn't occur here against English. Now technicals count as personal, so very wise move by Tim Kluse.
And also guaranteeing that English won't pick up a third foul before halftime.
Correct.
So 2 fouls on the play for Himes. So they were his first 2. No, check that. He does have 3 fouls now. English on the bench with 2. And we've got a foul now going against Iona. Or is it a kick?
It was a kick ball. Entry pass from Himes. Got jacked.
So Poole to inbound. Long, pivoting over near the Iona bench, asking for Wright to check to the ball. Wright doesn't, so Long's going to go to work himself. Spins once, then twice, then lays it in off glass, underhanded with the right hand.
Right-handed, left-handed, reverse pivot. Levon has excellent footwork.
Long now up to 12 points. He averages just 10 points a game.
Siena going to man with 57 left on the clock, Kelly.
And timeout. Tim Kluse, Iona's first timeout of the half.
Puts English back in the game with 56 seconds left on the clock. Amazing.
And 2 fouls. Lowry inbounding for Iona. Casimir back to Lowry, and now it's English, Iona's top player, and perhaps the front runner for Conference Player of the Year for Williams. Lowry backing in against Long. Oganyemi there on the help defense. Neither can stop him. Lowry scores 42-33 with 38 seconds to play in the half. The differential between the game clock and the shot clock is 4. Right chest pass to Hines, back to right between the circles, right block, it's Oganyemi, goes right to the basket, misses, gets his own rebound and scores.
Defense.
8 points for Oganyemi. The Saints down by 7, 16 seconds to play in the half. Iona will hold for the final shot. Klus calling in the play. He goes back to the chin. Last time we saw the chin play, English knocked down a 25-foot three-pointer. This time he gives it up to Williams, who tries for 3 with 4 seconds on the game clock and nets it. And the horn will sound before Siena ever gets the ball back into play. Iona gets to 45 points in the half.
Get into officiating. Not him personally, but his legacy. I really enjoyed the way he handled himself, and he used to fly in, drive in, and used to chit-chat. I had friends at US Air.
Second half underway. Siena basketball. Here's Levon Long doing some work in the paint. And a hook shot goes over Lowry and scores. So 2 points for Long, who's now up to 14 in the game. Long getting the second half start over Willem Brandwick, who started the game. Again, Long had missed 3 games with ankle injury before coming off of the bench at Fairfield on Friday. So Saints with an 8:45-37, 19 and a half to play in the game. Here's Iona settling into their half-court offense. Hines to the right flank for English, who leads all scorers with 15. Jump step at the right elbow. Right was in his face. He kicks it out for Williams. Tries for 3. No good. Rebound Oganyemi. Long trying to go all the way himself until he got to the baseline, then desperately had to flip the pass behind him. And now Laurie all alone until Hines caught him from behind and knocks the ball away. It will be Iona basketball, but that looked like 2 points for sure that Hines saved.
I was waiting for Daryl Dawkins' glass coming down with the rim on his elbow. Lowry looked like he was going to get angry on that Trusco Rosenkiernan rim.
Instead, it was Hines attacking the rim as he evaded Poole, took the inbound pass, scored, and was fouled. So poor effort from Poole defensively in that spot gives Hines a chance at a three-point play.
You know what I would practice if I was the coaching staff at Siena? How to foul somebody. I could teach that. I can teach that skill.
I bet you'd be good at that.
I don't know what my foul averages were, but I'm confident it was in the high 3s to 4s.
Hines, who has attempted just 2 free throws all season, makes that one. He's now 2 of 3 on the year, and Iona is up by 11, 48-37. And that's the second time this game, and I'm sure that's why I was at the forefront of your mind. The second time this game that Rob Poole has been a part of a three-point play for Iona.
It's just a soft foul. You get 5, use it.
All right. Entry pass for Oganyemi, was stood up by Lowry. Kicks it back out for Wright. Invades the paint, misses the layup. Oganyemi for the rebound, tips it over to Wright, and a fresh shot clock for Siena. Tricky pass to the interior for White, who's fouled on his way up, so Maurice White will be shooting free throws.
Maurice, nice cut to the right side of the basket after the penetration from Wright. You have to like the effort of Maurice Wright. You just wish for him to get better results. You wish for him to finish.
White 2 points in the first half, 58% free throw shooter, his first attempts of the game upcoming. Makes the first.
And I think Maurice is going to have a breakout in his career. I don't think it's going to be, you know, going to the basket and getting blocked. I think he's going to mature as a player, and the staff is going to work with him to learn how to finish those penetration dribbles that he creates for himself.
And it gets the second to bounce off the front of the rim and go in, so it's back to single digits. Iona up by 9.
Again, face guarding English, not even paying attention to the ball is Evan Himes.
We saw Oliver doing it earlier in the game. Hines for 3. The Alaska native misses it. Oganyemi with the rebound.
I love this matchup of Lowry and Oganyemi.
Right, the violent crossover, then handed it off to Poole, back to right. Oganyemi sends the screen. Now it's Himes in front of us, back to right between the circles, all alone. So why not? He's got 3.
Boy, they do not respect Wright's three-point shooting ability.
And here's why: 0 for 9 from beyond the arc over the last 6 games. An answer in the form of Cedric Casimir, 3 points of his own.
Boy, Casimir just gave the change back to Siena. Another a three.
Casimir had missed his first 4 3-point attempts in the first half. Poole will try from the outside. Yes!
Simple pick and pop. Something that's by design by the Saints.
The Saints were just 2 of 7 from deep in the first half, but back-to-back triples to get the second half going, and Siena is within 6. They trailed by 13 at one point. Williams around to Cedric. A deep three-pointer for Cedric. Casimir, no good. Oganyemi, his third rebound of the half. Long outlet for Wright to White from the corner. And that's one of those that maybe if he was shooting the ball a little bit better, he'd have the confidence to take that shot. He was more or less unguarded from 12 feet. Now White from beyond the arc, crosses over into the paint, goes up against Hines and gets it. Maurice White, the best move we've seen from him in a long time.
Opposite leg with contact.
It's a 4-point lead for Iona. Hines forces English into the turnover, loose ball, jump ball, Iona basketball.
I think this is going to get chippier by the end of the game. I don't think that these teams are necessarily in love with each other, but the more physical you get and the jumping on top of players, you're going to get some anger mixed in there, and that's not going to be pretty.
Siena on a 12-6 run to start the second half. 12 points in about 3.5 minutes. Lowry working against Oganyemi, your favorite matchup on the floor, and this time it's all Lowry. Took Oganyemi to the hole, beat him, and won.
Lowry did more of that when he was younger as a transfer to Iona. Now really playing more of a 5 role deep down inside, but he's capable of bringing the ball up the floor like we see Levon Long do occasionally in there. Just took it directly to the basket.
Lowry with double-doubles in 6 of his last 8 games. Averages 19 and 9 so far in this one, 11 points and just 3 rebounds. He does complete the 3-point play. So again, the Iona lead is 7. Poole across the timeline, right-handed dribble. Cozies up towards the 3-point arc, hands it off for Hines, and now it's a right controlling with 23 to shoot, and he'll set up the offense. Interior pass to Poole, who shook free of Lowry and scores.
Beautiful slip screen there. You saw Poole set the screen and then roll directly to the basket. A lot of little wrinkles today.
Poole up to 11 points. English will attack the paint, misses, gets his own rebound. Kicks it out to Lowry, toes on the arc. Lowry will try a 3. Oh my.
Wow.
David Lowry, 6'9", 245 pounds, but can stroke it. A 44% 3-point shooter, 3 points there to pump Iona's lead back to 8. An aggressive foul underneath the basket sent Evan Hines to the deck. Siena basketball out of bounds after this break, brought to you by All-Star Wine.
Talk about this every year. Teams that press don't like to be pressed. Teams that press don't like the ball being taken at them. And you see both teams like to press. Both teams like to get up and down the floor. Makes for an exciting basketball game.
Long pump fake, strong move to the left block, fouled on the floor. So Siena basketball out of bounds. They'll get a fresh shot clock, and that's already the 3rd team foul of the second half against Iona.
Prior to the timeout, Jimmy begging for a shooting foul on that move to the basket by Hines.
Right for Poole, rolls off a screen, hoists up a 3-point shot, no good, looked good. Not quite, so instead it's Iona running the other way. Amayo nearly traveled, gets it off to Williams. Now Lowry top of the key, and English back to Lowry. Right elbow, tries to lob it inside for Amayo. Got a hard time reining it in. In fact, he does well just to maintain possession for the Gales. Here's English down to 15 on the shot clock. He runs around Hines. And an offensive foul for, is that English hooking Hines? It was.
Yeah. Kelly, he's been doing it a lot of the game, and I think the coaches made note of that to the officials. He's dislodging his offhand when he's dribbling, and you can't do that. We saw him do that a couple times here in the first half where he was punking players with the forearm, and you just can't get away with that the entire game, even though English does it very well.
That's right. But that time it earned him his 4th personal foul. So the best player on the team, arguably the top player in the conference, is on the bench with 4 fouls. Can Siena start to pick up the stagger? Here's Rob Poole, a little up and under from the right block. So Poole has 13, Siena within 6.
Poole guarding Lowry man-to-man. Wow.
Which way is it going to go? Offensive foul. Amayo against Long. Long had the position.
Boy, what a boost Levon Long has been to this team coming off that high ankle sprain.
Now 4 fouls on Amayo. So Iona's top player and their 6th man, both with 4 fouls.
I feel for Amayo. He's just been called he's been whistled quickly and consistently. He just has not been able to do one thing right today, really.
Yeah, no points, 4 fouls. Nothing to show for it offensively. Oliver, floater from the baseline. There it is.
Oh, it's going to get loud, Kelly.
Oliver has his first points in 3 games. Siena within 4, 57-53, 14 minutes to go. Hines from the left wing, and now Lowry. Ogunyemi chasing Lowry out behind the arc. And dish it off to the freshman, Casimir. Now Williams, entry pass for Lowry. Ogunyemi hasn't backed up, a solid 8 feet from the basket. Tried to go in against the sophomore from Troy. Has to force it back out to Hines. 3 seconds to shoot to Lowry beyond the arc. Double team, 2 seconds, 1. He won't get the shot off. Stolen away by Oliver. A 4-on-2 for the Saints. Poole calling for it. Instead, it's Oliver, who smartly will pull it back. Now finds Wright, who tries for 3. No good. Could have blown the roof off the place. Offensive rebound for Ogunyemi, and he lays it in. Timeout, Iona.
Wow. Casimir looks disengaged to me, almost disinterested. Like he's not getting enough touches or something.
Williams inbounding for Casimir. The Saints immediately repeal the pressure. Casimir throws it off of Williams' face, who clearly wasn't expecting it. Wright, Poole asking for it. Oliver spots up for 3. No. Wright, an offensive rebound. Can't get the layup. An offensive board for Long. Kicks out to Poole. Tries for 3. Yes! The Saints take the lead, 58-57. The Saints haven't led since the first minute of the game.
Selfishly, I would have loved to see Oliver pop that 3.
16 points for Poole. Here's Casimir for Lowry. Ogunyemi there defensively. Poole with the double team. Out to Muhammad. Corner for Williams. 3 ball. Nailed it.
Yeah, Poole gambled on that double on Lowry, and that cost the Saints. They couldn't rotate over to the corner.
Iona back in front, 60-58. The Saints have only led for 20 seconds in the first half, only about 20 seconds so far in the second half.
Iona in a 2-3 is very small.
Long working against Lowry. His shot's no good. Rebound for Lowry.
Lowry, the only big fella in for the Iona Gales right now.
And he wants to beat Ogunyemi off the dribble. Fans thought maybe he dragged his pivot foot. He did pretty move from Lowry. He makes the jump shot.
And folks, he is that good.
So a quick 5-0 burst for Iona right after Siena took the lead at 58-57. 62-58 Gales, 11:45 to play. Right, left-handed dribble, a wide open Ogunyemi, 15-foot jump shot, too strong. And rebound for Iona. Muhammad dribbles out of trouble. Casimir. Lowry, best offensive player on the floor right now for the Gales against Ogunyemi. Bucket and the foul. It's a 7-0 Iona run, and Lowry at the free throw line can make it 8 straight. 64-58 Iona. The Gales on a 7-0 run, and at the free throw line, the senior David Lowry a chance to complete a 3-point play. Just a 60% free throw shooter, 4 of 6 so far this afternoon. Now 5 of 7. So Siena basketball down by 7.
Javian Ogunyemi getting a seat.
Brandwick into the game, sets a screen for Poole. Off ball. On ball, it's Oliver left wing, now top of the key to right. Poole comes off a screen, pump fakes from the outside, threw it away. Poole looking for Oliver. Casimir tried to get by him, and that's a smart foul by Rob Poole to slow down a counterattack for the Gales. But yeah, we got our second. What was the advice you wanted to give the assistant coaches before the last time?
Well, right there, what Rob Poole just did. Just take him out. You know, nothing malicious, but if you're going to use a foul, use it like you mean it. And what Javion did in that particular Lowry attempt, where he fouled and got the and one, he just gave up on the play. Once the foul is done, he let Lowry do what he wants. You got to keep scrapping even after the whistle, not to allow that ball to get off.
Williams having a hard time inbounding, but does for Dublin, and now Muhammad. And Iona will slow it down. 65-58 Gales, exactly 11 minutes to play in the game. Muhammad pointing to some space on the hardwood to his right where he wants Williams. Williams obliges, shows up, takes the ball. Now back to Dublin between the circles. Williams right wing, skip past to Lowry, working against Oganyemi. Plays for Dublin, who walked before the shot attempt.
So I have to make my game notes here for the return game down in New Rochelle, which I probably will not do on the broadcast, but Muhammad gets my all-ink team for Iona.
Okay.
Skinniest player I've seen with that much ink, too.
Right, looking inside for Brandwick. Siena's yet to drop a play for the freshman out of the Netherlands, but maybe once a game they'll try and get him on a backdoor play. And there it is. Instead, the ball goes off the face of Dublin, and it's Dublin who gets called for the foul, obstructing Brandwick's path to the rim.
Well, I have to tell you, I disagree completely with that call, and I'm going to tell you why, and I know why Tim Kluse is upset. In the scouting report, they're teaching them, they knew that play was coming, and what you do is you clear out the screener. In other words, if your man is screening, you're the one that puts your body on the guy who's going up for the alley-oop, and that's exactly what they did.
16 fouls on Iona in the second half, so Saints will be shooting the bonus next time up. Poole has the ball swatted from his hands on his way up, but Siena protects possession. 23 on the shot clock, and here's Wright to reset. For Poole. Saints down by 7. Gales on an 8-0 run. From the left block, it's Brandwick. Back out to Wright. 10 on the shot clock. Brandwick beyond the arc. Now to Poole. Left elbow. 16-foot jump shot. No. Oganyemi in position for the rebound, and he's fouled. So Oganyemi will head to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
Javion is doing work against Lowry on the offensive boards. I think for me that's been the most impressive play of the game by any player, is the fact that Javion is out-muscling Lowry on the offensive boards.
Oganyemi with 3 offensive rebounds, now 8 for the game. 5 of those rebounds in the second half already. And he makes the front end. Oganyemi just a 51% free throw shooter.
Javion getting a little WD-40 in that hitch.
3 of 3 in the game. And 3 of 4. Needs another application.
Does.
Muhammad, left-handed dribble across the timeline for the Gales. Casimir chased around the perimeter by Himes. Lowry straddling the three-point arc. Brandwick daring him to shoot it. Lowry can shoot from there, instead wants to beat Willem off the dribble, gets within 6 feet. Willem stands him up. Lowry tries to shoot one anyways, misses. Siena outrunning Wright. A pull-up jumper from 16 feet. That's not his shot. Almost got the roll. Brandwick keeps it alive to Poole, who crashes the paint and scores.
Beautiful offensive rebound by Rob Poole. Very opportunistic.
So a couple of free throws by Oganyemi, and now a bucket for Poole, and the Saints are back within 4, 65-61. Lowry drifting beyond the three-point arc. Far side to Muhammad, right in front of his head coach. Picks up his dribble, double-teamed, entry pass to Dublin, and that was too easy. Dublin caught it in a great spot against Poole, who's given up 3 inches in that spot.
Yeah, it's a mismatch. Rob's just going to get back down there. Too much muscle.
67-61, 8.5 to play. Oliver will check in at the next opportunity. Himes right in front of Patsos, between the circles, the big man Brandwick. Poole from the right wing. Back to right, waiting for Himes to come off a screen. Himes catches, gives it right back to right, 12 to shoot. Himes hoists up a deep three-pointer, strong off the back of the iron. Well positioned was Lowry for the rebound. Lowry up to 7 rebounds to lead Iona. And Lowry catches in position, right block, goes against Oganyemi. Brandwick over to help. Brandwick gets out of position. Oganyemi has to give up the foul to send Lowry to the free throw line. And for Javion, that's going to be his 4th.
It's too much for the young sophomore.
So foul trouble now for the Saints. Oganyemi has 4. Himes, Poole have 3. Lowry to shoot 2. He makes the first. Into the game for Siena, Oliver and Long, replacing Himes and Oganyemi.
I think with English out, the hope was that Siena would separate themselves a little bit, but that hasn't been the case.
Siena took the second half lead ever so briefly with the top player for Iona on the bench in foul trouble, A.J. English. Extended minutes out of the game with 4 fouls. Saints down by 8, 7:50 to play. Poole nearly threw it away. Long's able to rein it in, then has it stolen. Brandwood got a hand on it, but off of the freshman from the Netherlands. Iona basketball out of this timeout. 7:45 to play in the game. Iona leads Siena 69-61.
Overtime or late game scenario, but the Saints really have not been able to separate themselves.
Out of basketball, Lowry, the big man, will dribble it up the floor. Quick moves from Lowry to get around Brandwick, and now Muhammad back to Lowry.
Lowry smells blood.
Muhammad for Casimir. To Lowry, catches 15 feet from the basket. Brandwick from the blind side pokes it away. Here's Wright in transition, right all the way to the rim, misses the layup. Loose ball. Long has it, back for Wright. Fumbled it to Lowry. Full length court pass for Devlin, who lays it in. A 4-point swing. It looked like Siena was going to get a layup. Instead, it's Iona the other way. And instead of the Saints cutting it to 6, Iona stretches the lead back to double digits.
They secured that loose ball and weren't able to convert it.
71-61. Under 7 minutes to play. The Saints need a bucket. It's Poole. Looks to beat Lowry off the dribble. Picks it up. Now Long. Twisting and turning inside the paint. Loose ball after Long gave it up, and then it is Long who's charged for the foul.
Yep, going for the loose ball. Tried to kind of swim his way to the ball, throwing a few Iona players in his wake.
Did look a little bit like a breaststroke move there. I hear butterfly is the stroke that runs the family?
No, just Anna.
Okay.
I couldn't butterfly 3 strokes down a pool. I'd end up at the bottom on the deep end.
Muhammad picked up by Poole. Backs up near the timeline. 6.5 to play. The Saints down by 10. Lowry patrolling the zone outside the perimeter near side. Hands off from Muhammad. Dublin between the circles. Now Casimir right wing. Drifting to his left, Muhammad, Iona chewing up the entire shot clock, down to 5 to have it where they want it. Lowry against Brandwick, and Lowry wins with relative ease. No disrespect to Brandwick, but boy, he made it look easy.
Yeah, he does. He's just that strong. You can't keep him out of the post. I'd rather foul him with his poor free throw shooting. He hasn't done that today, but historically a poor free throw shooter, foul him away from the basket.
So all of a sudden a 12-point deficit. The Rob Poole cuts right back into that. Flashing into the lane, collecting and scoring. 73-63, 5:45 to go. Long will check into the next dead ball. Lowry controlling for Iona. Lowry's numbers, 24 points, 7 rebounds.
Kind of having his way. Now Saints going to a 2-3 zone.
Again, Iona content to go deep into the shot clock. 7 to shoot. This time it's Casimir attacking the glass and lays it in. Siena can't get a stop when they need one.
No, Casimir, good penetration there and good finish. He's got lightning speed.
Again, it's 12 points for Iona, the lead. Oganyemi into the paint. got around Dublin, but missed the 4-foot jump shot. Ball poked out of bounds. Siena basketball. Long will come in, replacing Brandwick.
Like that substitution, Levon Long back in the game, brings spark.
Oganyemi playing with 4 fouls, catches 30 feet from the basket. Here's Wright, Poole rolls off of the screen. Under 5 minutes to play. Great interior pass for Oganyemi, who was held by Williams. It's going to send Oganyemi to the free throw line. Oganyemi, as we talked about, a career high 15 points on Friday. If he makes 2 free throws here, he can get to 13. More importantly, he can get this deficit back to 10.
Well, and I think that's something that's reasonable to expect from the young sophomore. He's really stepped up. He's gotten the playing minutes. And now he's bearing fruit, producing points, producing rebounds. Unfortunately, today really hampered with an assignment that was really tough early in the game.
Missed the front end. And an Iona rebound. So after making his first 3 from the foul line tonight, Oganyemi has missed back-to-back. Gales up by a dozen. It's quiet at the Times Union Center. I got a feeling that Lowry could really drive a stake through the heart of Siena's chances here. And he wants it. Instead, kicks it out to Casimir for 3. No good. Out of bounds, Siena basketball.
You know, all things aside, Kelly, the Saints have impressed me on the boards today. I really did not expect this type of differential prior to the start of play over that timeout. The Saints have been out rebounding the Gales by 10 rebounds, 30-20.
Right controlling for Siena, near side Oliver. Himes now between the circles. Left wing for Long. Now to right, left corner. Dribbles out of it. Himes from the corner. 3 ball. They need it. No, it was short. And a rebound for Lowry, who was getting very close to another double-double. 24 points, and that was his 9th rebound.
Big man Lowry feeling like he needs more minutes at point guard.
Long picks him up just a step inside the timeline. Lowry's got a quick first step, gets by Long, who retreats in his back in position. 12 to shoot, under 4 to play in the game. Muhammad sneaks a peek at the shot clock. High screen set by Dublin. Muhammad picks up his dribble, gets it out to Lowry, goes right around Long to the rim, gets off an awkward shot, and the ball gets stuck between the rim and the glass. And that takes us to the final media timeout. It'll be Siena basketball on the other side.
Blues basically saying, guard the shooters and do not foul. Looks like they're going to go man-to-man.
Right across the center stripe for White. And now Long. Straight away. Hands off for Oliver. So Wright, a step inside the arc to the paint from 15 feet. Up and in! Bucket in the foul for Marquise Wright. And Tim Kloos is not happy about it. And so he's going to go to his MVP, A.J. English, who has been on the bench with 4 fouls for quite a while, about to come in.
Hopefully English doesn't translate into points.
Wright to complete the 3-point play, misses the free throw badly.
It's one part of his game that really needs to improve as he continues through his Siena career as a shooting.
Timeout, Iona, 30-second timeout.
Well,
right in front of our broadcast position for Iona. Siena will not guard the inbound pass. Lowry gets away from Wright, collects the inbound, and back to Williams, who's double teamed. Finds English. Cross-court pass to Muhammad. Back to English with 20 to shoot. Just under 3 minutes on the game clock. English creates a little separation from Poole, who regroups and tracks him back to midcourt. Lowry setting a high screen. English dribbling between the circles. Muhammad far side, back to English. English gets right around Jimmy Page, who comes from behind to swat it away. Out of bounds to Iona, but only 3 seconds on the shot clock.
By all rights, English had Jimmy Page burned going to the basket on the left side, and Jimmy wisely from behind blocked.
Athletic play from the freshman. Iona without much time to get off his shot. In for Casimir. 3-point try at the buzzer from Muhammad, and it's good. Oh boy, that one's going to be tough to recover from. It's a 13-point Iona lead. Right around Muhammad, teardrop shot, got it. And a timeout, Siena.
Saints can't afford to trade 3 for 2. Time off the clock, going deep into the shot clock on each of their last 3 possessions.
Offensive foul as soon as Iona puts the ball into play. Lowry trying to make his way up court, gets caught for a hook. So that's a bonus possession coming Siena's way.
They'll take the ball underneath. Really couldn't see the action there, Kelly. One of the rare areas on this court from our vantage point where we couldn't see when there's traffic in between us and the benches.
Long to inbound. Wright wants it in the backcourt. Stefan nearly threw it away, but Poole does have it, and he earns a trip to the free throw line. The shot never had much of a shot, but Poole does well to give himself an opportunity and a couple of points with the game clock paused.
And this is really the critical part of the game. If they can put points up without the clock moving, it really benefits Siena. Iona's coaching staff would be wise to tell them not to foul, keep the clock moving. It is the enemy for them right now.
And the best free throw shooter in the conference, his first attempt of the game. That's good.
He gnip-gnopped that one in. Might have bounced 15 times between the front and back of the rim before it went down. Remember that old game, gnip-gnop?
I do. Misses the second, so an 86% free throw shooter, just 1 of 2. Siena trails by 10, 2:15 to play. Lowry's pass blocked by Wright. Siena's sophomore guard out of Waldorf, Maryland, nearly came up with a big steal. Instead, it's Iona basketball, out of bounds, 27 on the shot clock, and a 10-point lead. Williams inbounding for Muhammad. That was Casimir who nearly lost it. Now Muhammad fouled by Poole. And the fan saying it should have been an over and back as Casimir had to go into the backcourt to retrieve the ball, and it looks like Matsos is on the side of the fence.
Nope, that is a good call. I agree with the good call.
Yeah.
The ball did not, if you watch the replay, the player did not reach over and the ball hit the front court line.
Muhammad makes the front end of a 1-and-1.
I think the only question you could ask is, was his foot on the line when he retrieved the ball? If that's the case, then surely it's a backcourt violation.
Iona by 11. Ibn Muhammad can make it a 12-point lead with 2:09 to play. 78% free throw shooter, the junior guard from Laurel, Maryland. Missed the second. Oliver the rebound. Right, dribbles away from Williams, around Muhammad, but stolen by Casimir. It's a 2-on-2. Poke towards the Iona bench, last touched by Wright. So the sure-handed Marquise Wright turns it over.
And that really has been kind of the dagger for the Saints today, as they've coughed up the ball way too much and way too early with 17 now for the game.
Muhammad in the backcourt for Iona, now English. Under 2 minutes to play. Iona up by 11 from the right block. Casimir goes up strong and is fouled. So 2 shots for Casimir, and Iona with 2 free throws can match its largest lead of the game.
The Gales are going to salt this away from the free throw line the rest of the way.
Casimir perfect from the line tonight, now 3 of 3. His 10th point, freshman under his average, averages more than 16 a game.
I guess you didn't see the foul, did you? I guess you didn't see that.
And he's got them both. As we talked about, Iona averages 85 points a game, and it seems like they'll probably get there. Now up 81-68 with 1:45 to play. Wright picked up by Casimir as he crosses the stripe. Page rolling off a double screen, catches from 23 feet, elects not to shoot. Now inside for Long, an easy layup for Levon Long.
Well, minute and a half left here. Saints got to come up with a steal.
Lowry, a couple of dribbles near midcourt, gets around Poole. Iona trying to stay away from the fouler at this point. It's Muhammad. English.
Keep away.
Siena now going to play this one out without fouling, down to 10 on the shot clock. Lowry turns, faces the basket with 8. Long picks him up at the top of the key now from the right elbow, spins to his left hand, out to Casimir, three-pointer on its way. It's good. Under a minute to play, and that's going to do it. 84-70, Iona in front, and for the first time, there's now a smattering of Siena fans headed for the exits. Iona's largest lead of the game. Long, 6-foot jump shot, rattles out, fighting for the rebound with Williams. Williams has it, and a timeout. Tim Kluse and the Iona Gales.
Lowry's really having his way. Reminds me of an Adrian Dantley type player. You see him already taking his shoe and sock off. He's got some type of foot injury.
Iona puts the ball into play. Siena tried fouling a couple of times, couldn't. Now Casimir has the ball across midcourt, dribbles around Page, back out to English, and the Saints will not foul. 24 seconds on the game clock, about a 3-second differential, so Iona will have to give the ball back.
English in fashion, talking smack to Rob Poole.
And English gets off a little teardrop shot that goes in, so Iona will go over its average of 85 points. They lead 86-70, right rapidly into the front court. He's fouled on his way to the glass. So Wright a chance to pad his stats a little bit. He can get to double digits with a couple of free throws.
Jimmy is not happy with the officiating, giving Kevin Ferguson an earful here with a few seconds left on the clock. Really nothing you're going to say to Jimmy at this point. You're going to listen just like Kevin's doing.
Wright makes the first.
I would love to mic Jimmy up for a game. I just, if you could bottle that, I would be a billionaire.
It would need to be on tape delay, that's for sure.
Or after 10 p.m.
on cable. Iona burning the final few seconds off of the clock, and here's the horn. Final score from the Times Union Center, 86-72. Iona improves to 2-1 in conference play. The Saints fall to 2-2 in the match.